everybody. What is today? It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I'm just now finally able to have a few minutes with nobody in the house. It's Wednesday evening here, and I thought I'd just do a quick vlog to check up on things that have been going on, and just check in really quick because I was trying to do Mondays, and Monday was a holiday. We were actually out of town. We went to Kansas City Saturday through Monday, and so I wasn't able to do the blog on Monday. The vlog. And you know, it's been one of those weeks, and I'm really just kind of scatterbrained. So excuse my scatterbrainedness. It's just, there's a lot going on, and my mind's going in every direction of all these things that need to happen, and it's kind of hard to keep up this week. But we did go to Kansas City on Saturday. It was a very challenging trip. Both of my kids, you know, they're adjusting to being back in school, and Saturday just didn't go well. They did great on the drive down there. It's a few hours. My son fell asleep about 20 minutes outside of town, and we had a couple hours before check-in, so we decided to go to the mall, and he woke up a few minutes before we got to the mall in Overland Park, and he was just so disoriented and just cried, and he was upset the whole rest of the time that we were at the mall. He didn't want to have anything to do with the Lego store. He didn't want to have anything to do with the Disney store. He was just totally off kilter. And then we finally got checked in, and then we went to IKEA for the first time, and boy, wow, IKEA. It's a very overwhelming place to go. That's all I can say. This glare on my glasses absolutely drives me like really crazy. IKEA, it was crazy. It was crazy. Both of my kids didn't want to have anything to do with it. They were not happy. They didn't want to be there. They were being kids, and, you know, it's tough traveling, and I get it. And I was stressed out because, you know, it's massive, and they wind you, they herd you through the store, and I started feeling claustrophobic and trapped, and there wasn't a way out because you had to stay on this path, and it was the only way to get from section to section was to go through this little path, and it was an experience. My son it was just too much, and so my husband took him out to the car, and I got to do the bottom floor with Gracie, and Gracie was not in a good mood, and I was upset and tired and stressed, and by the time we got to the warehouse to pick up my carts, I was almost in tears. It was something else, and I tell you, when we walked through the entryway into the warehouse, it was just like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me, because, you know, then I had to find my carts, and it was an adventure. You know, it was an adventure, and then we got to where the carts were at. What are they called? The Raskog. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably wrong. Raskog. I got a teal cart. We get to the pallet where the teal carts are supposed to be. There's only one box there, and I thought, you've got to be kidding me. And by then, I had pretty much talked myself into, darn it all, I was there. I was going to buy 2 carts. And so we finally found someone to help us out, and thank goodness, down on a different row, way far away, up on a big pallet, there were more of the carts. So I got 2 teal carts. I got them put together today. I don't know if you can see them. Here's my carts. So I am in the process of trying to get moved into them. I went ahead and got the little cups. I just don't know. I went ahead and got the cups. They were only 99 cents. The carts were $29.99. And then I did get the bins, excuse me, got the bins that actually fit into the, each of these little areas. I went ahead and picked those up because I didn't know if I would want those, and I can't remember how much those were. I think those were $2.99, and I went ahead and got enough for each of those drawers. But now that I'm trying to put stuff in it, I don't really like them. They actually take up more space than helping. So I think if I have some Project Life cards and embellishments. I think if I put some of those in one of these units, that I'll use one of those organizers. But for now, I'm not probably going to use them. And actually, it looks like they'll fit into the drawers of my art area here. And I might use them in these drawers on my table area instead of actually in the cart. Because I would like to organize Gracie's art drawer a lot better with her art supplies. Just to, so her things are organized better. So yeah, so we did that, and honestly, I'll be 100% honest with you, I did not need the carts at all. I didn't need them. I don't need them. I still don't need them. It was one of those things. It was just like, you see them and everybody's got the carts, and I love how they look, and I love how they look with all the paint in them, and they're just so cool, and they're teal. And I was like, I don't need them, but I got them. So, it is what it is. I don't buy a lot of stuff, so I guess I could probably justify all that somehow. But 100% honest, I don't need them. I didn't need them. How I have things right now is working great. So, but they make me happy. And they make me happy, and I like having how my things look in them. So I'm going with it. And I'm actually just cleared out one of the units right under here where I'm standing that had all my paints in them that you saw in the carts. I'm going to take this out from under here and put the cart under here, and I'm actually going to move it over here where Elliot's toys are at, and I'm going to organize some of his toys inside of it. He has a lot of the little Imaginext little action figure guys. He's got lots of Legos and things like that. So if I give him these carts that I am using right now to organize his toys in them, I can cut down the amount of toys that he has down here in the playroom and start taking stuff up into his room and finally get some toys into his. He has toys in his room, but he never plays in his room because all of his toys are down here. So that will help as far as with the clutter to, if I get his toys organized better. I am burning up, you guys. So sorry. So we did that, and then Sunday we went to Legoland, and that was a whole nother adventure also. People everywhere, kids everywhere. It was crazy. It was loud. It was really cool. The kids had a blast. But it was after all of the craziness of IKEA and all the people, and it was very overwhelming. They do have a parent quiet room at Legoland Discovery Center, and of course the time that I was in there and was trying to get a few moments of peace and quiet, there was a family in there, and they had their child in there who wasn't supposed to be in there, and the child was of course screaming and yelling, so it wasn't even quiet in the quiet room for the parents. And they don't have seating. There wasn't hardly any place to sit, so my kids had a blast in the play area where you climbed and went through all the tubes, and they absolutely loved that, and they were in that for a couple hours, but there wasn't any place for the parents to sit while their children played. So that was kind of a bummer. And then after that we went by a local owned art store called Ink Paper Rubber, and it is in Overland Park, Kansas, and I'll post the link down below. And just a second, my laptop's about ready to die, and I'm going to try to grab my cord. This has just been a comedy of errors and events today. So I was able to go by this store, Ink Paper Rubber, and it's a local owned art store in Overland Park, and it was beautiful inside. I have not been in a local owned craft store like that in years, and it was so great to be inside of one. I miss it so much. So if you have a local owned store, support them, please. They need your help. They need your business. They're, you know, we used to have 3 stamp stores here in town, and all of them are gone. And oh, I miss it so much. So it was a real treat to get to go to this store. And I got a few things. I got some of the Dilutions paint. I've been so curious about this, and I didn't want to order a bunch. So I was really hesitant on buying it because I love my golden paints. But I was so curious about this, and I really wanted to try it out. So I got some Dilutions paint in the green, of course, and I also got some Distress Stain in the green, which I've been wanting to buy this anyway, and I was going to buy it online, but I'm glad that I found it in the store so I could get that. And then I also got the green Dilutions spray. So those were all things that I've been wanting to get, needing to get, but just hadn't done yet, and I'm glad that I waited because now I was able to support this business, and it was just a really great store. It had all sorts of goodies in it, and it was so fun to walk around and, you know, get to touch things and get to pick things up and to get to look at it, and I miss that, and that I'm so glad that we have a Blix here in town so that I can do that with the art supplies that I am able to get. And sometimes I just go into Blix and walk around and just pick up the paint and look at it and hold it and look at all the colors, and I don't buy a thing. I just go in there just for inspiration. So if you are ever in the area, I highly recommend this store. There were 2 other stores in the area, and both of them were closed on Sunday and Monday, partially because of the holiday and just because they're closed on those days. And I was able to find Flow at the Barnes & Noble there. They didn't have it at our store yet. So that was nice. And I did go ahead and pick Creative Girl Up by Danielle Donaldson. I've been wanting to order this as well, and they actually had it at the Barnes & Noble there, so I grabbed it. But I gotta take a sip. I'm sorry, excuse me. Dying of thirst. And that's it. That was the weekend. And then, you know, so we got home Monday evening and back into the school craziness. So, real quick, let me grab my folder. I am doing a project with Dede Willingham, and she is Inky Well on Twitter. And she has a Ustream channel, and she streams every Monday morning at 8 Central and Thursday morning at 8 Central. I think it's Thursday. I know it's Monday, and I think it's Thursday too. And she also streams just impromptu streams all the time in the morning here and there. But you totally need to follow her. She is an amazing artist. Gosh, I wish I had the picture of Sophie. She did a portrait of my little doggy Sophie after she passed away, and it is so special. It is such a treasure to me. But she is an amazing artist, and she is so generous with teaching, and she does everything you can think of. She does amazing collage work. She does color pencil drawing portraits. She does drawings of animals. She has this big, large scroll of paper that she's doing all these different animals on. She does scrapbook pages sometimes. She does ATCs and things like that. So definitely check her out. But she has started a new project that started this week, and it is called the File Folder Fodder Project. That's really hard to say. But I am really lucky that I get to help her out, and I am decorating a folder each week to go with that week's theme. So there is a theme each week, and basically you take, this is a file folder, and you take it and you fold it, and she shows you how to fold it, but you fold it and it gives you these pockets. So this folder here, the theme was nature, and I posted the video. There were 2 videos for this, and I posted both of them yesterday. So this is nature. And so this is just a neat, fun place to store just your little bits of things that you don't want to lose. Anything that you want. There's no rules, but just this folder will have nature things in it. So the first pocket is make, so it's things that you have made that, the theme is nature. The second one is find, so anything that you just find wherever. Just wherever. If you find it, you can tuck it in here. The next one is have, so things that you already have. And the next one is give, so things that you would like to give away for an RIK or just, anything like that to stick in a card to a friend. That's where you can stick the extras that you would like to give away. There's going to be a total of 12 cards and 12 folders, and each of them has a different theme, and each week she'll announce the theme. And on her stream, she'll just go over just some of the things that she's added into hers and show the folder that she's made. And then I will do videos on how I'm decorating my folders. So it's just a really, really fun project. So it's for 12 weeks. And then at the end, we're going to put them all together in some sort of something. I don't know if it's going to be in a decorated box, or I'm not exactly sure what Dede has planned, but you know what? She's amazing, and you really totally need to check it out. So I had a lot of fun putting this one together, and I'm getting ready to start working on next week's theme, which I'm keeping a secret until next week. And so be sure to check that out. So that's pretty much what I've been doing since we got back. And I'm getting ready to start on the next file folder for next week. And I think that might be it. Gosh, just Kansas City. Glad to be home. There was lots of rain on Monday morning, and thank goodness it blew away before it was time for us to go to head back home. But I don't think there was anything else that I wanted to tell you. I did get this pennies ad today in the mail. We don't have a pennies card, but I got an ad. I always get Kohl's ads and things like that. I just wanted to show you, don't throw these away. Look at them, because this is free collage fodder. It's got people in it, girls that you can use. Excuse me. But usually, and sometimes more, depending on the type of season, always at Mother's Day there's a lot, Valentine's Day there's a lot, holidays, but there's usually a jewelry page. So this is great to use, to save, and to collect, to use on your collage pages. So just keep your eyes out, because you never know where, you'll see something that'll have things in it that you can use. I also noticed when we were at the mall at, I think it might have been Hellsberg, they had some little catalog, little flyers out on their counter, and it was full of rings. So, if you're at the mall, just pick one of those up, and you have a lot of rings that you can use on your pages. But I think that is it. And I'm going to get back to this mess. I had everything clean, and now I've got this chaos going on over here. I am trying to decide if I want to put both carts under my desk here. Excuse me, I had to take a drink again, my goodness. I'm trying to decide if I want to put both carts under my desk here, or if I want to set this one up with supplies to do art on my couch, couch art. So, because I've got my color book here that I've been working on in the car, so that's where I am now. So I work on this in the car and while I'm watching TV, and I thought I would just put some other just bits and whatnots and some collage items, some of my folders that have pictures in it and things like that, so that while I'm watching TV, which isn't that often, but while I'm at the couch, not in the couch, I have something sitting there that I can work on. So I think I might do that, because there's actually room beside my couch that I could put this. So, and it's cute. So it'll look okay sitting there in the living room. It'll have to move at Christmas time, because that's where the tree goes, but I think I'm really heavily leaning towards that, and that's why I've got stuff right there, and inspiration strikes me, I'll be able to sit there and work on it. So I have rambled on for 20 minutes now, so I will go, and I hope you guys are having a great week. It's Wednesday, thank heavens, and hopefully back to our regular scheduled programming next week with the vlog on Monday. I got lots that I need to do, so lots that I want to share. So I hope you guys are doing great, and thanks for watching, and I will be chatting with you later.